up, Cancer? Hi, I'm Tiffany. This is the Feminine Inquisition. We're doing a reading for the month of June. We have already done Geminis. You're the second sign. It is also a birthday month for you. We are using the Tarot of the Longest Dream. I hope that you like it. All the faces, though, they're interesting. This is for Cancer placements that speak to you. Tapping into the collective Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If this resonates with you, awesome. Please let me know. I would love to see how I have shaped, remarked on, or gave you some ideas that helped in any way. Furthermore, if it doesn't, there are other placements for you. Now, you may check out your full moon in Sagittarius reading, which is already out. Also, I have tried to do your reading 3 times now, and I just keep spacing out. And I don't know if that's you or if that's me, but yeah, just keep spacing out. So let me tell you a little bit about this reading, the setup. So it's Gemini season, right? And that means that it's the wisdom of contradiction. It's the 2 truths at the same time. And that's what we're going to get into. What 2 truths are burning in your pocket? If you can handle them, how you integrate them, who is involved in them, and why it matters. Let's go. Show me, please, for Cancer, the 2 truths. Just 1 and 1. There's 1 and another one. Thank you. Ooh, this is a spinny one. So, on its side, the 10 of Swords. Love that Gemini card. The Star in reverse. Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So, Cancer, of course, we're going to get into it, but let's just talk a little bit about how this card is the Sun in Gemini. So it is right on time. Don't think of it as a bad omen. This is a guy who does look dead. That's true. That's fair. And because this deck is new, I want to look at it with you. I think there's an owl in it. Yeah, there's an owl there. So cool. And so that's really what I want to talk about. The wisdom. Not just the wisdom of contradiction, but the ability to... let's talk about the owl for a second. Because we know that Gemini is a twin sign, okay? And we also know that Pisces is a twin sign. And these twin mutable signs are operating in the in-between. The owl has the glyph of Pisces for its eyes. I know that sounds crazy, but symbolism runs deep. And that is because in the liminal space, in between the parentheses of one idea ending and another one beginning. So the owl overseeing this 10 of Swords, this is the end, the limit of the fucked up thinking that has got you to this place. The limitations of the mind that have created dramatic constructs that you've had to carry out. The patterns and the scripts in the behaviors that don't really, they're very unpleasant, whether it's from you or from someone else, or whether they're precipitated by the things that you do, but they're consistently showing up in other people, and it still yet hasn't dawned on you, Sun, that it is a creation of your doing, that you are triggering a particular response in people because you are trying to recreate a particular experience so that you can do something differently, okay? The Star. And this is all related to the fact that somehow, some way, along the way, you felt disconnected by your purpose, by your power, by your dream, by your vision, the ability to soar, to be seen, to give back into the world, to cleanse yourself from whatever you have done previously that has not been, for whatever reason, satisfying. So I think a little bit of this also has to do with the completion of the stages of development. Like I love that Cancer, you are very nurturing and you are very open and sensitive, and probably have a really great memory. But it is so unfair to look back at a particular time in your life and criticize you for who you were in that moment. And that is how you disconnect yourself from your journey and your purpose and your passion, because everything that you experience here fuels this next stage, this next step. And that is how you become the master of whatever it is that you're meant to do, right? To own your voice is to basically remember what you experienced and the wisdom from the experiences. That means the shit ton of mistakes that you went through, that's the wisdom that you bring to this life and whatever craft, service, whatever you do. So for the Ten of Swords to be on its side, will you allow yourself to, will you accept that there was a limitation of your mind without it meaning that you're shit, that you're fucked up, that you don't deserve anything? Without it, without it becoming like, why am I so worthless? I can't do anything right. If you just take the wisdom of the few chances that you took and how it didn't really go well, and there were a few mistakes, a few losses. Yeah, okay, that apartment. Okay, yeah, that job. Okay, yeah, that friend. That time I crashed the car. Okay, like if you accept the wisdom to learn not to do the things that brought you there so that you can move forward without repeating it, at least in the same exact way, you won't be so disconnected from your soul, from your creator, from the stars above you, from you being one of them, a star on earth. And there it is. That's the result. So, we're doing these readings and you're the second sign to do it. And I didn't anticipate that I would put the deck smack in the middle to show you the bottom of the deck. And I didn't anticipate that the bottom of the deck card would be the answer that we need directly. Or like the foreshadowing of what the month will bring, right? If you can manage what it is that I just said. Now we can get into it more deeply. We can get some specifics. I'm going to stay with this deck because I just think that we're learning it together and it's super beautiful. But I want to bring your attention to the lotus, and whether you know it or not, I'll say it because it's worth repeating. The lotus, because they often say that, what do they say? Something about no mud, no lotus. Because of how the lotuses grow. Oh, this is actually a book. How to transform suffering into happiness through mindful practices. So, I didn't make this up, of course. Tichat non. But I know of it because I've been teaching yoga since 2008. I didn't read the book. But I know about the yamas and the niyamas, and I understand what it means to have this samskara, these repetitive thoughts, these repeated patterns, these scripts that we stick to. Also, I was just talking about how when and if you think about something that you've done poorly, all of a sudden now you don't deserve anything. And that's just not true, okay? It's just not true. So stop doing that. Let's go. Show me more. Show me more. This is a whole month. Show me. One more. Anything at all about the star? How it turns upright? Anything about the Ten of Swords that we can learn? Transformation. Eight of Swords, Mercury and Gemini, Ace of Pentacles. Okay. The King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So I got the King of Swords in the previous readings, as I told you I was trying to do it, and I was all like, wow. I was in the mud. Sorry. So transformation of what it means to censor yourself, to think that your hands are tied, to not be able to get out of the situation because your mind is all cramped up. And there's an opportunity here. This is not very much different from the Ace of Cups. It's almost like the Ace of Pentacles is above now the Ace of Cups. And there's a real world opportunity for you to just take one step in the direction of transforming your mind, so that transforming how you process information. Remember, this is Mercury now. This is the thinking. This is the structure of your psychology. The words that come out of your, well, from your mind to your heart. This little bit here. This is what we are trying to change and establish a balance. And look at these stars, right? Like, these are connected. These 5 points are an elemental embrace, an elemental harmony. Why is the pentacle in tarot represented by the 5-star, by the 5-pointed star? Jesus. Because this is how the spirit comes down in earthly matter. This is the 5 elements in harmony. And because they are in harmony, they are part of reality. We can see them, we can touch them, we can taste them, you understand? Because they have been able to encounter one another in a stable fashion and stay. So an apple is an apple, you know, whatever it is. The King of Swords. So the King of Swords here, talking through the swords that are on the table. Also, not a care in the world for the star. The King of Swords is cold. So if we're going to bring death, transformation to Mercury and Sagittarius, this King of Swords is obviously going to have to go. It's going to have to go. He's going to have to be transformed. There, 6 of Swords. I'm happy to see that. 3 of Pentacles. Maybe you get some help, some counseling, some talking through some things with some people. The Hanged Man, because fresh perspectives are essential about what this heartache actually means, how disappointments are caused because of the mind. It's the gymnastics of expectation that creates the pain, not the actual person, job, parent, home, kid, whatever you're dealing with. The Empress is here. She also showed up in previous readings. This is huge empowerment. She showed up with the 9 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Pentacles kept on showing up so much. So there's this tendency or this capability or a faculty for you to go into work. Now, what work looks like, that doesn't necessarily have to be your daytime job, but go into work. Get to work. Right? We know, Cancer, that you teach us through the Chariot what self-acceptance is, the harnessing of both our light and dark horse, our 2 truths, as this nature of this reading is all about. But the thing is that with the Gemini inspiration, it's about the highs and the lows of the thing. And for Cancer, it's the highs and the lows of ourselves. So, I'm not going to keep pulling. We're going to turn this back around. We're going to do this like this. So, what is the fresh perspective that you need? That's what I think is really important. Okay? So, if Gemini is going to offer you the wisdom owl of contradiction, these 2 thoughts, and we had 2 aces on the table and a King of Swords who needs to beat it, and some people you need to work with, and some perspective that can be granted about this pain. I want to know, if I can, what this perspective is. Show me, characterize. So it's on a ship, by the way. Does that matter? I don't know. He's above a door, like a door that goes underneath the bottom of the ship. I don't know what that's called. The hold? No, I'm not a ship person. Don't joke around, Tiffany. His hat is off. I don't know what that means either. Hands are in his pockets. It's just that I'm learning these cards with you, you know, we're exploring. What do I think, though, about the ship is that I feel like it's been a long time coming. And the reason being is because the Three of Wands has to do with ships, and that's so much waiting. So I don't want to be influenced by previous readings, and I don't want to jump to conclusions, but this is what happens when you use a brand new deck for a reading. Temperance, Five of Wands, Emperor. Whoa! Okay. A restoration, balance, King of Cups. This King of Cups was in your previous reading too. This is going to be a balancing. Let's just take our attention to this Two Cups here. So a balancing of, well, Temperance is after death in the succession of cards, okay? The majors run in their own order. The death is, as you can see, 13. Temperance, as you can see, is 14, okay? Right. Now, the Temperance is the alchemy, the transmutation, turning this experience. That's what the Hanged Man or the moment of pause gives you, a transformation so that you can pour the cup out and you can make something brand new from this experience. And there's no conflict anymore. There's nothing to fight about. It's just something new. It's something different. The Emperor. So the Emperor is sitting with a ram at its feet, which is to say that you meet things head on. This is why, again, I think I double down on the fact that this has been a long time coming. But furthermore, something else. Part of the mental gymnastics, part of the pain, part of the anguish has to do with you in your mind, keeping your hands tied behind your back, not saying how you really feel, King of Cups. Keeping, yes, in this deck, he's pouring the cups. He's pouring one cup out because you immediately have a tendency, or like as a default, is to think terrible things about you if in the event you make a mistake. That low vibration, when your energy reduces so much, then you don't actually have the courage or the will to say head on to someone whatever it is that needs saying. And that's going to be different in every scenario. And I don't think that on a conscious level you're refusing to take ownership. I think that you don't know how. I think that you just can't see a way to do it. And because you feel like you're so much shit that now you've assumed and convinced yourself that they think you're so much shit. But it's not real. You can take this cup that's being poured out, right? That nonsense, you can pour it out, and there is a bird of peace, of surrender. No, not surrender, of serenity. But perhaps there's surrendering your ego, right? Like, you're not perfect. So don't pretend like you are. And don't act like it's the end of the world if you make a mistake, because you're only here to make mistakes. So yeah, there's a little ego in there, just on the worst side of it. Right. I think that I want to know what's required from you to go ahead on the Knight of Wands. What do you have to do? You have to get psyched up over something. Work! There it is! The Eight of Pentacles again. But what is that? Thank you. The Four of Cups. Don't pay attention to that it fell. in reverse. It doesn't matter. Because the way that I was pulling the cards. The Four of Cups, who's also pouring the cup out to slay the dragon of the mind. Right? Bottom of the deck, Seven of Wands. So you have to be stronger, firmer, put work on your boundaries. You have to remember to stay enthusiastic about life. That's the truth here. What is it that you're going to do? Which direction is this going to go? You're going to stay the course. Remember the elemental harmony. These are all the different rewards you get from experience alone, not winning, not doing the thing that you had hoped to do, but just the experience. And so you have to work at being enthusiastic about the experience just as is. And this is again a second homage or cueing to pour out the ways that you become emotionally toxic by feeling terrible things because having thought awful things and then getting very defensive, but all of it was made up. Yeah, I don't think we need any more here. Anything else for the rest of the month? You want to tell me anything more about the rest of the month? This is a huge month for you. Eight of Cups. Yes, yes. More Piscean energy, right? This has the owl here. And then instead of it being from all of the things, the limits of your mind, this is the limits of your emotional experiences up till this point, right? Because you are recognizing what feeds your emotions. Seven of Pentacles. And so you're going to plant new seeds. There's the water still coming back. Three of Wands. The ships. What are you waiting on? Wow, the victory, the Six of Wands. Okay, this will take you right into Leo season. That's Jupiter in Leo. Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So where is this going? How does this carry itself out as we close out June? There's a lot of preparation, a higher level of confidence. You're able to choose with fire because you have done the work to remember to stay enthusiastic. Here you are in your best dress, holding the earth at your fingertips with a vantage point of where you might go in this great life. And you're emotionally departing from anything that you have spoiled just because of the mindset, and you are prepared to do whatever it continuously is required to fulfill this bond that you have with you now, this practice, right? This Ace of Pentacle, what does it mean to find a harmony within, right? I am here, and I am of the things of the earthly realm, and that is to say that I am in a perfect harmonious balance, because that's the existence that we all share here, and I'm only here to have experiences. So let me go plant new seeds for new experience, and let me manifest those, and let me be patient as they come in. Let me not forget who the fuck I am, star energy. And here it is, the great victory, public success, and everyone that came along the way to congratulate you, to hold fire. I don't know if that's like a cherry that's being thrown, a raspberry that's just flying in the air. Flower, maybe it's a flower. Oh, it's a rose. Yeah, okay, this girl, she should put her glasses on. It's a rose. Super beautiful. Yeah. So I have another deck, the Akashic Tarot, and there's the War of the Roses, right? And the War of the Roses is the white and red, I don't know, army. There are, a bunch of horses dressed up white, and they're opposing a bunch of horses dressed up red. And the whole point of the card is that the War of the Roses is that your intuition tells you that you should not do whatever it is that you have done, but you have went and gone and done it anyway. And so the War of the Roses is about fighting passion, fighting desire. And that is so intrinsically a part of you, because the Chariot is the white and the dark horse. But in this respect, it's just for you to recognize that you are also human. Even though you're a crab, you must be more forgiving and close out what it is that happens, not in the way that you wanted to, but be really complete with it. And so this way, when you really let it go, you don't continuously beat yourself up for it. You can close it out and look back if you want, but look back forgivingly. Like, oh, I was so young then. I was so naive. I was so stupid. God, I was so crazy. These are the stories that make life so exciting. And that's the work that you'll be doing in this month. It's probably not the first time that you're at it, but I think that you come to a great place of success for true understanding, perhaps through working with other people. And you really tell this King of Swords to beat it. There's a very cold voice within you, perhaps a motherly figure, a fatherly figure, maybe an aunt, maybe an old teacher. I don't know. Someone who's given you a nice list of traumatic experiences to remember, and maybe even statements that you're repeating, but they are not yours and they're not for you, and they don't take into the totality of the situation, because it's just the bottom line. It's just numbers. And that's not where we live. Again, we're the elemental harmony of all the elements. So there's a great balance for this earth to exist. A lot is measured. A lot is compromised. In every millisecond, so much happens so that we can stay in balance and harmony, right? Okay, so I'm going to get advice and see if there's anything else. But I do like this for you a lot. What is that? No mud, no lotus. Maybe you want to check that out. I'm not trying to be cheesy, I swear, but sometimes it just happens. Cheese is delicious too. Six of Wands again. Seven of Swords. Not interested. Not interested in going back. And got your eye on the Ten of Pentacles, right? There it is. That's all the things that you want to get a hold of, work towards, emulate. You're maybe taking a new appreciation of what it means to be in this world. Maybe. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. So, in the after tarot, his foot is about to go into a trap, right? And he has these 5 swords in his hand. And in that case, I mean, this is the strategy. Knowing that what used to be without the rope, right? We know that the Seven of Swords doesn't have a rope and the other depictions. So what used to be his own volition to think that he knew the best, to take the swords away from the camp. Now, with the rope there, it's to suggest that he's not going to fall into that trap, thinking that letting his mind set himself up for failure, thinking that he can make choices for other people or think about other people's choices. This is the part that's closing. Yeah. This is again the Ace of Cups, because the after tarot, the Seven of Cups are here and he's got the Ace. Yeah, okay. So in order to fill your cup, you start really, I think, with this by pouring it out. You pour out your cup in order to fill it. And and why you do that is because you need to get your mind clear. And we know that the only way for that to work for you is through emotions, through your waters. So I hope that something was informative here. Let me know if this resonated. I'd be super happy to hear from you. Please let me know in the comments if it did. Give me a thumbs up, everybody. If there's anything here that has served you in any way, I want to hear from you. And until the next time that I read for you, have a beautiful month. Ciao.